Good day, everyone. How y'all doing? Thanks for stopping by and tuning in as always. So, first and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you all, my actual subscribers, instead of the fake subscriber count that YouTube gives you, and all that for supporting thus far my new transition on my musical talents, doing the musical remakes thus far. The last one uploaded this past Friday, or premiered this past Friday. The Beanie Man featuring Maya and Pharrell, Girls and Sugar, and so on and so forth. I really appreciate that. Many more to come, remakes, tutorials, scratch beats, scratch samples, and stuff from scratch. So, creative music. But I'm going out on a different note today, well, at the moment. I know I've spoken to some of you all individually, privately, about my current situation. Well, it was my current situation, but it has now been come to a close. It has been come to a close or to a shut this past weekend, this past Sunday. I don't know if y'all hear me. I got a fan going. It's hot right now in the middle of March, the end of March here in North Carolina. Hang on one second. Okay, yeah, I had paused. I stopped the recording and played on playback to see if I could hear myself and then y'all can hear me. So, so about my past situation that came to a close, I'm saying while on the job, working not for, but with Amazon, Amazon Prime Logistics, whatever you want to call it. First and foremost, or second and foremost, I also want to give a shout out to Brother Philip Scott, once again, of the African Diaspora News Channel, formerly the Vice Show Media Network, who has done blackout videos like this on certain live feeds as of like the past year, and I think the year before that, back when I was living in Dallas, covering, you know, topics of him as a broadcast journalist and podcaster on the climate that we live in this country with violence, racial profiling, all that kind of stuff, and would do certain videos like this. So here and there, not all the time, but here and there, or anybody who does this kind of videos just don't want to show their face and just, you know, like they got something high. No, that's not the case. Just, you know, just out of respect, like, you know, they got to do this sometimes. You know, that was what the blackout thing from what happened to George Floyd. I did the same thing and posted on my IG. You know, blackout. All I did was set my phone device on the floor. Me and my mother's, you know, and took a picture anyway, or, you know, screenshot, whatever. But yeah, this is a black screen, but, well, this is half black. But no, my tablet is sitting on the footstool thing or whatever. I'm in the living room. But so let me get right back on track, on topic. So I'm just trying to make it nice and short as possible, because I really didn't want to do this. It's just my rant. I didn't rant and rave enough, at least the last two times, the last two summers, the last 2 Julys in a row. But this is not another summer rant. We're in the middle of spring, end of March, going into April. But I wanted to, originally I've wanted to do my own vlog as of, you know, while on the job, which I never had gotten around to doing. It backfired really, in a sense, because, you know, never having the time because of, you know, being micromanaged, time, money. All I've done was, besides the 30-minute breaks, 30 dirty 30. And some of y'all kept mistaking, like, oh, I turned 30 already, like it was my birthday or so and so right then. So no, I said individually, and to others who might come across this video, saying that's just a trucking terminology, phrase or term, trucker slang used in the trucking industry when you have to take a 30-minute break, which is required, mandatory. So that's all I was doing a lot just for, and actually showing you all. And even from orientation day when I first got this gig back in Dallas. So showing you all, okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna get to and how I found out about the job. But just showing y'all what the vans look like. Y'all have obviously seen them. They've been around actually more than a year, but I just started seeing them as of this past year, still with this boo-boo pandemic, this boo-boo virus. And then showing y'all actually me in the van, in the middle of nowhere, northern Texas, over by the Oklahoma border, off I-35, and just showing y'all just the tote bags and packages and so and so, and besides sharing with y'all funny moments of certain people who put funny names like mommy and daddy on the package, to IG, to Instagram. So that's it, and kind of like where. Back when I was trucking, before I had my rollover, not having the energy or considering to, try to do a trucking vlog and all that, from even though that's when I right then and there before my rollover started watching, certain YouTuber truckers, and somewhat still to this day. I ain't say it all the time, but somewhat still to this day. And then just speaking on my experiences of the first thing on this particular account, this particular channel. So now that's fast forwarded to just me speaking on now my experiences, even though I'm no longer delivering packages with Amazon, not for Amazon. I was a contractor with Amazon, working under Amazon or with Amazon. So that's what this video is going to be about. But you all see the title. And again, this is just how I feel. This is my opinion. I'm sure obviously others that were there already feel the same as I do. Others might and say, oh, they nothing, they deal with this all the time. Well, when it gets past to the point of ridiculous where you can't do your job in peace, and it's like, something has to give, So here we go. So we're already at 6 minutes. That's why I said in the last video I'm trying to get out to y'all. So last year, summer of, it was so after July, when I was here on vacation here in North Carolina, where I finished up the rest of my recording of my aviation vlog, return back to Dallas here from North Carolina. I left North Carolina beginning of August, like the first week of August, right? Get back to North Carolina. Get back to Dallas. Fly back to Dallas, get back there. And I was at the time still doing Uber. Now, I haven't done a story of a day in life as an Uber or Lyft driver. I might do those. I don't know. I'm just speaking on right now with Amazon. Because all of that I was going to say was before the boo-boo pandemic. Well, Lyft was back in 2019. But Uber from the end of 2019 into September of last year, 2020. Yeah, during the pandemic. But yeah, I was doing Uber at the time. I actually was trying to do it here. Long story short, when I tried to switch my account to temporarily drive here in North Carolina, again during the pandemic, they had closed the offices, phone lines or whatever off and on, and you having to speak to them and on the app system thing or whatever. But again, you get to that in another video. So, oh man. So yeah, I was back to doing that, and I started seeing these prime vans all over the place. I'm like, what is going on? Like, always seeing FedEx, UPS, and USPS, right? Now, mind you, I didn't see Amazon Prime vans when I was here first on vacation in North Carolina last summer. Until I got back there to Texas, that's when I started seeing them. So I eventually was like, okay, I need to flag one of these drivers down, because I asked my mother one day, taking her to work, because she works FedEx Express, but she picks up packages, then Harley delivers it. Her schedule is 3 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, off on the weekends. The particular FedEx Express station she works at, they don't do those kind of operations on the weekends. So, well, besides in the warehouse or whatever, the station, inside the station. But yeah. So she was like, yeah, go on and make that happen. So, you know, one day, it was on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, I want to say. I was either coming from the airport with a pickup or a passenger or something. And out of the airport, somewhere in town near the airport, one of the airports, DFW or Dallas Love Field. And it's a town called Louisville where I was taking the lady to, Caucasian, elderly, older lady. And she, no, I guess that's where she lives in Louisville. So it's a suburb north of Dallas and Fort Worth, next to I-35, 121, 121 business. And in the neighborhood where I guess either she lives or visiting somebody, whoever, it's a high class, I guess, up-class neighborhood, in which it is. But nearby, the side street over that I passed had 3 Amazon Prime vans parked outside of a customer's home, delivering packages or whatever. So I immediately turn around after dropping her off, go flag them down, right? And say, yeah, so-and-so about the job and all that. And I say, yeah, I'm interested. And so, obviously, they were all helping out one another. And they was like, yeah, what's your name? Give me your telephone number, so-and-so. And we'll go from there. We'll contact our supervisor and go from there. So, their supervisor contacts me the following day or what have you. I think that was Monday or something, I'm not sure. As of that following week. And saying, yeah, you know, we will, or send me an email or so-and-so, or call me, or send me a text saying, yeah, we would like to schedule you for an interview. Now, mind you, back to the boo-boo pandemic of this virus, this is, as I've said and maybe others have said, marks the first time, I'm saying as far as for me, I'm speaking for me right now, but to have now interviews done virtually instead of in person before this all came about. So, oh man. Now, as far as virtually on Zoom, I'll say this. The social media panels and stuff on those type of apps and software, web browsers or whatever, it's not new to us as a young generation and myself. That's just for the older folk and older generation that's new to that for the most part, you know, because of this. But I'm just saying, that's how it was done. You get on there, me and all the other potential candidates are on the panel. And she's on there speaking, and I'm not going to say the names to their contracted businesses and stuff because they're business owners and so on, so that I don't even know anything about. For one, they have either just started doing business or been in business a long time with their LLC or what have you. But just to show some common courtesy and respect. So yeah, we all on there on the Zoom panel. She's speaking so-and-so, I'm not going to say her name. She's speaking so-and-so, and, you know, saying, yeah, this is what we do. Now, that's where I'm getting at. You know, saying, okay, this is the functions of the job. Now, mind you, this was now officially my first time delivering parcel packages as of packages. Not my first time transporting any type of cargo. Again, you're hearing from a ex-CDL Class A driver. I still hold my Class A CDL. So be talking to an ex-truck. You're listening to an ex-truck driver speaking. So I have experience with transportation, you know, looking at my resume and stuff. You know, it's you know, extensive, you know, catalog and stuff. but as far as how they want you to operate while on the job. But this is coming from Amazon, not just the business owner, because they work hand in hand together. But Amazon, at the end of the day, really calls the shots. What your business owner does is what your business owner contractor does. So, yeah, they go over everything. And I've delivered newspapers and stuff too. That was really laid back. That was years ago before all of this. So yeah, she goes over everything, saying, you know, these are the proper tools and equipment and PPE for those that know that's personal protective equipment that you're going to use while on the job, while driving the van. And saying, yeah, you're going to have to get your temperature checked, because they got temperature check stations in there. And the first time me having that, which I posted on IG back when I was doing Uber, picking up a passenger and at a plant and checking in with their guard shack, and them not telling me ahead of time and just violating my rights, like it's real privacy. Like, come on now, like I just felt totally violated. So, but anywho, saying yeah, there's temperature check stations, have to keep 6 feet, and like I said, the devices that you're gonna use on the job. All right, we get past that. Now she wants to probably speak to us individually while on the panel. But like I said, probably in a separate window. After she's speaking to me and asking me questions and for Q&A, saying what can you do to make our job better, I'll say this: they're on call, meaning that you just take calls or whenever, you know, help out with drivers or to get a route, schedule a route or whatever. So I didn't hear back from them when I gave my thoughts and opinions and my answers to the best of my ability to the questions or her questions of the job, to getting the job. So when I checked back on the status of it, she's like, yeah, that's the reason why we didn't contact you back, because we considered going on somebody else and not having you qualified or whatever. So that goes by. Now, that was an offer from them. I didn't immediately, as far as it's a, well, I did. She said go to the portal website, the Amazon portal, that says hiring various DSPs. And that stands for Delivery Service Partners. Again, now shout out to those or content creators or who've been doing Amazon day in the life vlog videos of what it's like to work for a DSP agent or a DSP, or it's called it stands for Delivery Service Provider or Partner, same thing. Work for a DSP agent or Amazon Flex driving a personal vehicle delivering customers' packages. So I went on the Amazon portal, say it's hiring various DSPs at this particular station and other stations throughout the city, the state, and the country. Okay, so I get another email from who I thought was them, to come to find out it was another contractor. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm confused. I thought Amazon hired its own drivers. Apparently they don't, for personal insurance reasons or whatever, that they just don't flat out don't want to hire drivers. But Amazon hires, as far as I know, as far as in-house warehouse workers. That's package handlers, yard jockeys, yard marshals, yard associates, Amazon associates, things of that nature. So, this other contractor sends me an email coming across with my resume or application. I call them back and they say, yeah, we're a different contractor, so-and-so. So, get on with them. Now, I was working part-time with them on the weekends, Saturdays, and Sundays because of my current transportation situation where I don't have technically my own vehicle. I was driving my mother's car during that time. So every Saturday and Sunday, our check-in time, we're the first to load out. In the mornings, or was. I started with them in September this past year. So I was already quitting my Uber gig. That was full-time work then, and starting with them. Who to check in with, so-and-so. Start the training. Again, virtual day 1, day 2 training on what's called Amazon Time. That was the first time hearing about that. Didn't know what that was. Oh, excuse me. So, doing all of that, like I said, now getting to the job at hand. Like I said, the 6 feet policy and all of that. Orientation day was in person, not virtual. So we're there learning the job functions in person while trying to keep 6 feet. Now, I'm going to get to as far as to where my current situation was at the time. right now. So, or from last weekend. So, fast forward into the duties of the job. We get routes, random routes, and the Amazon picks them back random. It's not your boss who picks them at random or selected gives you a route to be comfortable with. You just take it or leave it. And I took all the routes and the same routes to be get used to the area. Even I don't know these areas at all. Only from as a truck driver going up and down the interstate, because of the station is off or next to the interstate. Well, we're going from Oklahoma border back down in those areas east and west of I-35 to deliver. So we're out in the open range, out in the country, away from Dallas and Fort Worth city limits. Luckily, the other contractors there, they're getting all the inner city routes. Why? Because their load-up times are in the middle and at the end for load out and pickup. So that's how Amazon has it coordinated and set up. Then again, it kind of does sense, I guess, for UPS or FedEx or USPS of, those different times of loadouts. But that's what Amazon does. Mind you, Amazon's mega carrier just like those. So I'm going to those areas, and just like that, I'm getting micromanaged. Well, when I first started, no, because the routes didn't have that many packages or stops. So I was told one of those times on a Saturday I was the first out of my team to finish early. But as far as about the rescue policy and things of that nature, that's only when you're falling behind. Well, that was when time went on, from September all the way up to Christmas week of December. Always getting called a micro. Why? Because of having to take a 30-minute break, in my opinion, getting the first 4 or 5 bags done and half of overflow, taking them the 30-minute break, talking to y'all on a live feed, and after those live feeds, getting that phone call saying, yeah, get back to work, so-and-so, you're falling behind, and always getting a rescue. That's usually on a Saturday. Sundays, not as much, but I still would finish late, because that's where I'm going to get to where I'm at now. If you get in early and feel like we getting loaded out late, we're going to come back late. So it wasn't a heated argument, but my supervisor back then with the first company, again, I ain't saying nobody's name or the contract, but, saying that, hey, I'm like, let me explain so-and-so. It kept cutting me off and everything. And like, okay, now that's being very professional. And we talking about a brother here. A brother talking to another brother. And this brother is like my father's age, And I'm just a youngin'. Well, I'll be 30, in May, on the 16th. But I'm just saying. So, that was that. He did apologize, yes, and I accepted his apology. So, carrying on. But then, this was the same brother who terminated me as a result. But again, this is coming really from Amazon's order. Because my boss, who was Caucasian and a younger guy, told me ahead of time here and there, saying, hey, Amazon really comes down hard on us if you're behind like that and can't get the job done. I know I can get the job done. It's just that how Amazon has it freaking set up. It's not giving us enough time throughout the day to if y'all in my shoes or somebody in my shoes to actually step out there and, see it for yourselves and all that, whether it's organization or not. They say as far as how to organize your packages, but the way I was doing it after ahead of time is how I've been doing it ever since. When I first started, I didn't understand what organization meant or how to do it and how the way they want you to do it. Or then again, everybody has their own preference of how they organize and load up their vans. Because for one, that we shouldn't have to be doing that because we're just drivers. Why should we touch customers' packages, their freight and everything, when the people in the warehouse, that's their job. Load the vans up for us, and then when we get there, check in, just, take off and leave. So that we ain't gotta, waste time doing all that. So, led up to my termination Christmas week, right when I start driving the freaking step van cargo truck, which has more space and availability in it, than a freaking cargo van Sprinter, box van. So, man. So that was my first company, and then I was before my termination, at least in November of last year. I was trying to relocate, or shoot, even I told relocate, switch over to another contractor or in our station, both. And it was like, well, we can't relocate you or transfer you. You have to start all over again and work and apply with somebody else at that particular station. So I said, okay, fine, cool. All right. So, which came until my termination. Now, they didn't even tell me. They just terminated, the brother terminated behind my back. And I kept calling, and they, for the most part, towards the end of my employment with them, they were very bad at not answering the phone like that. And I'm like, okay, well, besides the communication over on Sling that they came up with in December against Sling, or Sling is just an app for employees to complain as far as to communicate with and for your schedule. I was introduced to it, we all were. I didn't know what Sling was. It's almost like a version of Facebook in a sense. It's just a group chat thing. That's always like a group text. So, so they didn't tell me. So I'm like, okay, I need to investigate and go over there and figure out what's going on. And nobody's behind our dispatch desk. Our dispatch desk got moved as of recent during that time because them saying, drivers keep violating the 6 feet policy and blah, 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 and there's cameras everywhere. Yes, there's cameras everywhere, but it ain't just because of the maintained 6 feet. It's for other reasons too. Like for shoplifters, stealing, whatever, or a fight breaks out in there, violence, whatever, and having to have the mask on cover, both your nose and mouth at all times. So I was speaking with one of the associates, like, where's one of my bosses also on dispatches at? Or coordinator or lead driver. And it's like, we work with like so-and-so. And we'll get in touch with them and they say, they'll call you back in 10 minutes. So the boss calls me in 10 minutes, the chairman said, supervisor so-and-so told your chief executive officer terminated me, right? And I'm like, why? And he said, for so-and-so, because you were always falling behind, yada yada. Okay, so I'm like, okay, well, first and foremost, besides that, I appreciate the opportunity, for letting me on with the team. I ain't gonna say family, just say team, and just moving forward and go from there. So fast forward into me with the second contractor I came on with here to North Carolina to then make my move back in January. So I just left them last Wednesday, and all because of it was just a repeat of the rescue policy. Well, the first contract I was with, they didn't have that. They were just telling me what Amazon does. But the second contract, they have in place a rescue policy, but that's Amazon at the end of the day. It's not the contractor, because Amazon relays the message to the contractor. The contractor's dispatch computer monitor dings you. I just found that out a couple weeks ago, last month, by another driver. Say dings you when you're falling behind, and I can post the screenshots at the end of this video and everything. But as far as falling behind, it depends on how many you are. But if you're 3 to 5 packages stops behind, I feel like that's petty and uncalled for, and it don't make sense. So, and they really like putting a foot in your A's and everybody's A's. So, it was just like that, telling me I'm 15 packages stops behind this lady in HR and Human Resources last Wednesday, where I deliver out to Clayton, North Carolina, where I've been to in the same areas of it, along with Selma. As soon as I get out there, an hour later, she tells me that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm already getting ready to switch contractors. I can't take this no more with y'all. It's been a 2.5 sort of month run. I gotta go elsewhere. Alright, so I come in with the new contractor who I just quit for them on Sunday, but had nothing to do with them. They're very cool and laid back from what the other driver was telling me, who actually got terminated from the second contractor that I had just resigned from before coming on with him and his contractor. The reason why I quit this current contractor, because that's where I'm now getting at to the Mooresville/Cary, North Carolina, next to RDU Airport, is ridiculous. Or just for all Amazon hubs. They load up inside instead of the last station I was at in Dallas with the first contractor outside underneath a pavilion. They load up inside, but it's a serpentine when loading up inside to get staged in the staging area. You wait outside for them to lead you in the yard marshals, right? And it's half and half. It's half and half. You should be coming in as a group, as a team, and come out as a team. That's not really the issue. It's super goofy where your first half of the team is up front and your other half is in the back. Your first half up front leaves, and then the next new half of another DSP carrier pulls up in front of your other half that's in the back. Then your other half in the back can leave out. That doesn't make any sense. But I'm getting at as far as, again, with the 6 feet, their PA systems that they've been using as of late, megaphones galore, the actual team player captains or center captains at the station they call them social distance champions or what have you, that wear safety vests and things that are pink colored, certain special safety vests or whatever. They're not wearing an Amazon uniform. They don't have to. None of the in-house workers at any of these stations do. Even at where my mother works at for FedEx Express, she said they don't have to either. But only the drivers, like her and myself, have to wear the complete uniform. Cap is optional. The caps are optional, but you have to wear the polo shirt, polo pants, and the Amazon and the safety vest, the company safety vest. Mind you, even though I'm working for a contractor, but my mother isn't. She's strictly working for Express. I'm working for a contractor. They don't have their business name on any of the equipment or the vans, but they purchase this stuff that, as if we're working for Amazon, but technically we're not working for Amazon. So they're coming at us, the associates or jockeys, and me trying to finish loading up my van when we only have quick 5 minutes left to load out or load up, same thing, and saying, okay, y'all too close. How are we too close? Or saying, oh no more tossing hand-to-hand transactions of finishing up. Just go over the reception lanes doing like, okay, now y'all really being ridiculous. Y'all really being like, just being petty. And I physically sweat when doing this type of work, and with the mask on as is, whether it's hot or not, outside or inside. I had to switch up disposable surgical masks. But anywho, I'm like, that's it. I ain't gonna argue with y'all going over the reception lane and try to finish up. I'm thinking I'm missing a charger that they provide, these contractors. So I turn around, go over to the dispatch desk, which is right next door to the Eds contractor that I was secondly working for when I first, started working at this particular station. Nobody's over there, neither are them, and both parties are not at their dispatch desk. But I'm turning around, the boss saying he's over there with the other drivers in the back. Well, then as I'm turning around walking back, I'm walking over across the lanes. I'm getting barked at by one of the associates behind me from afar. Turn around like, what? It's a brother. And saying, yeah, pay attention to traffic. There's no traffic over here. I'm all the way over here in lane 5, and beyond lane 1 is where traffic is coming out with our other drivers in the back getting ready to leave and pull out. But no, he goes, you're supposed to walk this way and use the crosswalk. I'm like, really? Now this is another thing they teach you in the Amazon training when I first started this gig back in Texas. That they got walkways, and I don't know if this is just because of 6 feet policy or what, or they just been doing this from the dawn of time over there at Amazon. But it's a mega carrier, it means mega rules. I know from experience, again, from working at Swift, so and so. Swift is no different. Mega carriers are not a mom and pop running how they want to run their business. The DSPs are in their own little worlds too, but at the end of the day, we're all under one mega company's umbrella, Amazon, whoever. So I'm like, okay, now y'all really getting paid, because the other person, the brother who told me about the 6 feet policy, he kept getting in my face and not maintaining. I'm like, yo, 6 feet. You telling me 6 feet, but you near right up on me, So that was that. So now the other brother will try to write me up, because they will write you up fractions, as a, again, policing, giving you citations. Like, because you violating the 6 feet policy and all other kinds of crap. So he goes to my boss, my new boss, and like, yeah, my boss like, what's going on, Mr. Carter? So, like, don't do this to me. You hurt me, damage my company. I'm like, listen, I apologize for the inconvenience. I hate that it had to come down like this, but I can't take it no more. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This is an Amazon issue, and that's that. Now as far as the CEO, chairman, and founder of the or something like, or CEO of a company, or ex-CEO company, Jeff Bezos or something like that, who recently stepped down, that was what was currently trending during that time, and I'm not gonna speak on that because I don't know anything about it. It's just gossip, and some derogatory stuff that has been said about the guy, and take it how you want it. But I'm just, like I said, this is totally uncalled for somebody having to have us figure it out and not Amazon to figure it out. Like, I thought we were all supposed to be in this together, but it don't seem to be like that. That's thrown out the window. So, he wants to go in private life and run his company. He wants to run his company, whatever. That's it. So, I was gonna probably speak on another subject in another part, because this is about 35 minutes. So, yeah, just get it together, y'all. Get it together. Get your together. Get it together. Because it's not more smart. These people could take, like, grow overwork, and you only get paid $50 and some chump change an hour. You're driving the smaller vans, and with the stat cargo truck van, $17 and some change. But I'm saying, yeah, that's above and beyond minimum wage, but still, it feels like minimum wage, though. Yeah, you get paid weekly, every Friday on ADP, which is our time card stamp. You get paid every Friday, and using your Flex app to do the routes. As far as Flex itself, for those who drive for strictly Flex, they're driving their own personal vehicles, but yet they still got to abide by Amazon's policy. We're going in and out with a vest on, with a mask and stuff. So they're no different. Nope. I will say this. Nobody's getting special treatment really up in there. That's how I look at it. Everybody there, yeah, do a job, but it's how you handle the job and approach it. That's how I look at it. So, say what you want about this video. Thumbs up and thumbs down. I don't really care at this point. Like I said, this is just constructive criticism. This is facts. Nobody's got a gun in your head to make you hit the play button, but I just wanted to get this out there and, put it to bed, put a nail in the coffin. And as far as doing vlogs or like this, not like this, but as far as on the job, which I still want to do, at least, I got something, a car vlog of just me driving around, I guess, in a sense. I recorded yesterday. But yeah, that's it for this particular rant or rave. That's just how I feel. I got to rant about, how I feel about certain things. So, I guess you can call this a challenge too. I got a story to tell challenge. I wanted to create something like this also to speak on certain things. They don't have to be personal. It can be, kept, set quiet, kept, and all that. That's your business. But outside it. Alright, so this is the bonus feature, the screenshots is what I was telling you about. This was sent to my phone or their Rabbit phone, and me forwarding it to my phone. But you see right there, right? Like I said before, 5 stops. You see right there at the right, 5 stops behind, 6 packages behind. And that's just a breakdown on their computer on just everything you're doing as a driver. So, like I said, to me, this is really uncalled for. But like I said earlier, they have cutoff times for every DSP and window time. That particular DSP I was with, at cutoff time is for 7:45 p.m. That's 7:45 p.m. So we're going in the red like that. Probably mean, yeah, I'm just going to be maybe 3-4 minutes over. Because even back when I first started with them, it being over and it was past 8 o'clock, the Flex app kicked me out of doing deliveries. Even though I had already finished up, but it kicked me out moments later before I could even sign out of the doggone thing. Because when you're done, you call dispatch, contact dispatch, and say that your route is complete. More than likely, they won't need any rescues, and just log out of Flex to end work and keep ADP in this app Mentor for your driving score running. That's it. But you don't need Flex running because that accounts to adding up more window time you drive back to the station. I was never told that when I first got this gig back in Dallas, but I guess something that they just started doing, but it's to Amazon's so-called algorithm, like YouTube's, to be in compliance with workforce hours of service as of like a truck driver. But we're not operating on that unless if you're in a step van with Amazon. Then you're using your hours of service in their ELD device, mobile logging phone device called powered by JJ Keller. So yeah, this is ridiculous. Look at this. Okay, this is another example that I've been just going off about. But these falsified seatbelt infractions, only because these freaking vans that they have currently, Mercedes 2500 Sprinters, so and so. Hey Michael, this is dispatch. Let you know you have 7 seatbelt violations. I know it could very well be the van, and I'm just making you aware. Making you aware and making sure you're wearing your seatbelt. That was some dispatch. And here's my response. It only dinged once earlier when I took it off before putting it in park. The rest are false. Nothing is in the passenger seat and have it strapped down to prevent it. Just saying, in caps and exclamation marks. They sent this to their phone, not my phone. But these are the receipts. Those are receipts on that. And then I got one more I want to show you. And then that's my 3 strikes and out. I'm out. Okay, so this is the itinerary section of the map of your routing area. And you clearly see how Amazon has it coordinated and displayed, right? Well, what you see highlighted in green was my current stop at the time. But if you look down at the bottom, that's Selma. Selma Pine Level is just east of I-95 there, and there's Highway 301, 96, and 39 that goes in and out of Selma, apart from 95 and Highway 70. But you clearly see majority of my stops are in downtown Selma. The rest are north of it, but has Selma addresses, but are scattered in like too far away. That's why it takes longer, in my opinion, to get the route done. But they only would assign 2 or 3 of us in certain areas of town. That can't be the case. Or maybe if I keep running into them every now and then in those areas. But they can do all of what's highlighted next in green, stop 48, when I can just do everything that's right there in the heart of Selma. So it can take me only 2 to 3 hours to do and head on back to the station. Why do I have to drive out of route and go up there and then come back into town and finish? I done it all kind of ways, forwards, backwards, every which way. And dispatch told me saying that, yeah, you don't have to do it in order Amazon has it. You can trip plan it and coordinate your own way of getting through it to get it done faster, which I have done that. And I'm not saying that has it worked. Well, yeah, it has. The last few times, not last week, but the weeks before that, the 2 weeks before that, it worked just fine. But, I was getting, like I said, advice from other drivers and dispatchers and coordinators that work for a separate DSP out of Durham, saying how they had their drivers coordinate, trip plan to get their routes done faster, and even with organization of their vans. And as far as Pine Level down there, yes, I've done Pine Level too, but it's all Selma addresses on the package. I'm just speaking on this particular day in question with this particular map coordinates. So what we do, Pine Level, down to Benson, Andrew, Spring Lake, that particular DSP that I was with. When you finish the Pine Level, Selma, Benson and all, and Andrew, and Smithfield, where I live, it's 45 minutes to an hour back to the station as it is coming out here. So, and then unless if you're in Clayton, that's 25 minutes away from the station going back there. So, again, that's it. That's all I got for y'all. Again, from my channel to your channel. Salute. In 3, 1, 2, 3 strikes. I'm out. Oh, and last but not least, this is the actual rescue policy from the second DSP that I was with at the previous station that I was at. Rescue routes are to ensure that every package gets delivered. Rescue is a standard part of the delivery associate's duties as a driver. A delivery associate must receive prior approval by management in order not to perform a rescue. Refusal to rescue will result in disciplinary action up to termination. The company understands that there are circumstances that require a driver to be rescued, but constant rescues are a good indication that the driver is not able to meet the performance standards of the job. Therefore, the following rescue standards will be adhered to. 1. If you are rescued 3 times within 10 days, your work schedule will be reduced. And second, if you are rescued 5 times within 30 days, the driver may be terminated. However, there are times that rescues will be sent to support a driver that has a load that is sufficiently larger than the other routes that day. When sent to rescue, it's not up to the driver to approve of the rescue. At that point, it is a business decision to be adhered to. Under these circumstances, this is not counted against the rescue. I have read and understand the rescue policy outlined above. I signed, dated, and printed on the day of orientation. And then they got this thing called sweeper, which the lead driver takes one of your bags towards the end of your route to help you finish up so that you don't get behind. It's something that they pay for, but it's just a fancy word of pretty up saying, you know, that it's basically a rescue at the end of the day. And a bunch of other bull crap of complimentary rescue when you're not behind, that you're a little ahead or so and so. Then they'll send out a complimentary rescue and say, oh no, this is not going to count towards the rescue policy or what have you. But yeah, no more further comments on that. And I'm well beyond 3 strikes, so Gulfstream Entertainment, Michael Carter Studios and Production.